Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to New World News. Today, we shall unveil to the world some of the most significant news unfolding in Colombia. The transformative president defying the current. In the vast loom of Colombian politics, where threads of corruption and manipulation wove a dense, dark tapestry, emerges a president who, against all odds, has begun to weave a tapestry of hope and transformation.
Gustavo Petro, facing the machinery of disinformation and shadowy interests, has steered Colombia into uncharted waters. It is imperative to look beyond the shadows, explore the numbers and facts that shine in his brief tenure, like stars in the night, to grasp the true scope of his leadership.
Economy, a rising horizon, in the cloudy economic landscape of Colombia.
President Petro has scattered rays of light. In just 1 year of his presidency, he has reduced multidimensional poverty, a historic achievement that gleams like a gem in the nation's crown.
Unemployment, once a fierce scourge, is receding, standing at 9.3% in September, a milestone of stability in the nation's tumultuous labor history.
The Directorate of Taxes and Customs of Colombia has formalized 10,000 workers, leaving labor instability as a distant memory.
Combating the shadows of narco-trafficking.
In the fight against the scourge of narco-trafficking, Petro has shaken the foundations of organized crime. The seizure of 605 tons of cocaine in his first year eclipses previous records, marking a turning point in the battle for security.
The shadows of inflation dissipate, and the dollar falls like a pendulum, reaching figures below 4,000 pesos, a symbol of financial stability.
Investment in infrastructure, Colombia's rebirth.
Like a phoenix rising from the ashes of corruption, Colombia is experiencing a transformation in its infrastructure.
Over 30 trillion is allocated to the revitalization of railways, a transportation jewel relegated to obscurity by decades of decay.
Airports, essential for connectivity, receive an investment of 12 billion, propelling Colombia to new heights.
The radiance of public finances.
The numbers are indisputable. Revenue grows by 30.4% in just 1 year, a light that illuminates the path toward fiscal stability.
Tourism flourishes, opening doors to visitors from around the world, and lands confiscated from the mafia are returned to the hard-working hands of farmers, an agricultural renaissance in progress.
Education and business, pillars of change.
Petro does not forget the foundations that support progress. With an investment of 70 million in education, he decrees free education in all public universities in Colombia, a beacon of opportunity for young minds.
In the business realm, the 40% increase in Ecopetrol's shares since May shines as a testament to confidence in the Colombian economy.
International influence, Colombia as a beacon of success.
Petro's leadership shines not only nationally but also internationally.
Brazil, a neighboring country, looks to Colombia as an example when implementing its tax reform system, a beacon of good governance amid the turbulent waters of the global economy.
A breath for nature, deforestation, a tragedy fueled by corrupt politicians, finally finds an energetic opponent in President Petro's administration.
The substantial reduction in this environmental menace shines as a victory for sustainability and the planet's future.
The fight against corruption, a glimpse of hope in Colombia in the gloomy year of 2016. In Colombia, barely 1 in 4 corrupt individuals saw the prison bars.
Only half of them were convicted, and of those, 25% enjoyed the comfort of house arrest.
Effective sentences rarely exceeded 2 years. However, under President Petro's government, a promising change is emerging.
The detention of a former prosecutor exposes a complex corruption network involving support for corrupt politicians, drug traffickers, and members of the police.
The former director of asset forfeiture at the prosecutor's office, Catalina Noguera, faces accusations of her alleged involvement in a group of officials offering to intervene in extradition processes in exchange for bribes.
In an act of courage, authorities dismantle a corruption network in Antioquia, where at least 4 officials, including judges and police inspectors, have undergone legal proceedings for ruling in favor of claimants in exchange for money.
The surprise continues when an influential member of the powerful political clan of the Atlantic Coast, Arturo Char, former president of the Congress, surrenders to authorities in Colombia after the Supreme Court issued an international arrest warrant. His case is related to investigations into electoral corruption.
In a nationwide raid, authorities arrest 15 active and 8 retired Army members, including officers and non-commissioned officers.
Among the accusations is their alleged manipulation of documents related to military transfers, food, and uniforms irregularly from the area of enlistment where they worked.
So far, only 10 of the 25 arrests have been legalized. These news pieces are a glimmer of hope in the fight against corruption in Colombia, where the shadows of the past are gradually dissipating, and justice begins to prevail over impunity.
In a prominent operation in Medellin on September 28, 2023, authorities apprehended William Alonso Monsalve, alias De Mario, one of the most wanted criminals in Antioquia and Choco.
Monsalve, accused of leading a substructure of the Clan del Golfo, had monthly earnings of 400 million pesos from illicit activities. He faced charges of aggravated conspiracy to commit a crime, and for instructing approximately 45 members of his group in the use of explosives against law enforcement in various municipalities.
His arrest represents a significant achievement in the fight against crime in the region. A public service bus traveling the Bogotá-Moco route was immobilized by the Army of the Magdalena Battalion, where the soldiers discovered that hidden inside were at least 50 non-lethal weapons, 100 magazines, and 3,900 modified bullets.
But that's not all. At the checkpoint, located near the municipality of Pitalito, they also found cartridges and magazines that were allegedly intended for members of the armed organization Comandos de Frontera in the Putumayo department. All of this was carried out under the orders of the commander of the 9th Brigade of the Army, Colonel Pedro Pablo Leon Silva.
Amidst the shadows that have historically loomed over Colombia, President Gustavo Petro emerges as a source of hope, transforming a reality tarnished by corruption into a landscape of peace and prosperity.
Economic, social, and environmental achievements shine like stars in the Colombian firmament, marking a profound change in the country's direction.
Like a beacon in the storm, Gustavo Petro guides Colombia toward a future filled with promise, defying media manipulation and demonstrating that, despite the obstacles, the light of truth always prevails.
In addition to the evident challenges in Colombia's peace process, a report from the Institute for Development and Peace Studies, INDEPAZ, has revealed the active presence of 14 paramilitary groups in 149 municipalities across the country during the years 2021 and 2022, alongside the persistence of guerrilla groups.
This situation raises concerns, as these outlawed groups continue to commit criminal acts and support traditional politicians, hindering the implementation of peace policies promoted by President Petro.
In some cases, these groups have sought to recover assets that had been left in the hands of frontmen and rebuild criminal structures, adding complexity to the country's security situation.
In this context, the President of the Special Jurisdiction for Peace, JEP, Magistrate Roberto Vidal, carried out a working visit to The Hague, Brussels, and Geneva from March 27 to 31.
During his trip, Vidal presented the progress and challenges of the JEP in fulfilling its 5-year mandate.
He held crucial meetings with prominent figures, including the President of the International Criminal Court, ICC, Piotr Hofmanski, and other ICC representatives, as well as members of the European Parliament and government officials.
The trip underscored the importance of political, technical, and financial support that the international community provides to Colombia in its pursuit of peace and justice for the heinous crimes committed over decades.
It also highlighted the achievements of the JEP in the process of truth recognition, and the imposition of sanctions on those who accept responsibility and contribute to clarifying the truth about crimes in the Colombian armed conflict.
The JEP's Special Justice to the Peace emphasized that international support plays a fundamental role in achieving significant transformations and in the reparation of victims in the country, particularly in a context where the presence of illegal armed groups continues to be a critical challenge to the peace and stability of Colombia.